Today I'm presenting our project for Hack4Good 2026 for the project track for mines. Essentially, we are aiming to create an integrated activity tracking system. So essentially, we aim to create one integrated calendar that respects every schedule for all of the participants, the caregivers, volunteers, and staff. As you can see here, this is the landing page, and as of yet, there is no featured activity. I will log in as with a example account. And upon signing in, I'm in my dashboard. So currently there are no activities as of yet. And the main important feature of this is the active. The current situation is that staff spend roughly 8 hours every week on creating these activities. We aim to simplify this by having this integrated activity manager. So staff can either upload an image or maybe describe an image with AI, such as uh, children making clay figurines. And while this is generating, we can maybe call this a clay modeling workshop. And for the description, we can just leave it as a test. Now, the start time and end time can also be adjusted. And the location maybe could be, let's just keep it as activity room. And let's say this activity is located at Mines headquarters. We can just type in Mines and confirm the location and maybe even open it in OpenStreetMaps. Now, this program, it could be a creative session that occurs weekly, and this targets both participants and volunteers, as there are 20, we need both participants and volunteers for this session. Now, we can also select the staff present. I'm currently sending to James's account, and I can add other staff, and I can also select a contact IC and select whether this is wheelchair accessible and whether payment is required. Let's just tick both for now and create this activity. Now this activity has appeared over here with the AI generated logo. And now we can just simply drag it and drop it onto the day that we wish. And notice that this activity is still present over here, meaning that we can drag it and drop it onto any other day that we wish. Now that this activity is here, this activity can be moved around and to any day that we please. And finally, we can save our changes to the database. Change the date to something in the future, be the 23rd of Jan, save the calendar, and go back to the staff dashboard. Now, we can choose to feature this activity, upon which we can see that it is in the home page as a featured activity. Now, in the calendar, it tells us the next session is going to be on Friday 20th with 20 open seats. And over here, we can apply filters in order to check the accessibility of a program. And here is the session. Now, this is a visual representation that is available to the public. And upon clicking on it, we can then see the full details and descriptions of this full activity. And you can even click on the address and be redirected to Google Maps, where we can easily find the directions on how to reach the place from our home. Now, I've gone ahead and created a few more different workshops, such as gardening, 3v3 football, and karaoke, and even a staff and volunteers exclusive event for volunteers only. Now, I can save these changes and go back to the calendar. And as you can see in the calendar, only the participant friendly events are over here, and the event for volunteers is not there. So to access this event, we will need to go to the volunteers dashboard and enter the password to sign in and take a look at the upcoming commitments. Now, the regular events are shown over here, and the one in gold highlighted is the staff and volunteers meeting. Now, volunteers can take a look at the meetings, the location, and commit for this activity. And let's say they can commit for other activities too, and these activities are now added to their commitments. Now, these activities can also be viewed with upcoming opportunities, which are the most recently approaching activities. And volunteers can also withdraw commitment from activities should something come up in the last minute. The most important part, the participant dashboard. To demonstrate the onboarding process, I will begin the sign up process. Now, I will enter an email address and password. And now essentially what I get is a set of four onboarding questions. Now I select ad hoc engagement and the mobility status. In order for demonstration purposes, I will say that I cannot walk without assistance and I use a wheelchair or mobility aid. Now I also select all of these as my activity preferences. And for my home address, let me um, select a random address. Now to confirm all of this, I complete the setup. Now, essentially, I have the same dashboard as the volunteer, except that I cannot see the volunteers for the event. Now, if I try to register for football, I will say that it will say that this venue is not wheelchair accessible and that I cannot register for this activity. Now, let us do a demonstration of a common scenario that occurs of clashing meetings. So essentially, gardening is from 6 to 8 p.m. on the 29th, whereas the movie screening is from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. on the same day. Now, if I were enthusiastic and wish to register for both activities, I would go and choose gardening and register for this activity, after which it gets added to my activities. Now, if I were to try and register for the movie screening, it will say that I cannot register with this activity due to a time clash with gardening. Therefore, if I wish to register for that instead, I will have to unregister from the gardening and then register for movie screening. But before that, why not I check how far it is from location by simply clicking on the directions tab, which redirects me to Google Chrome and shows me the shortest path from my home to the venue. Now let us go back and register for this activity, after which it is added to my activities. Now it also tells me the registered activities, how many activities are available this week, and the total activities available this month. So in order to recap, our app provides a one-stop integrated solution for participants, volunteers, and staff. Staff can easily add in activities in an intuitive manner with visually appealing aesthetics and order them as they please, providing templates for future months and allowing them to cut down from 8 hours of work per week to less than 2 hours per week. Now, for volunteers, they have the freedom to choose activities, register and unregister from activities as they please, and attend meetings that are only for staff and volunteers. And as for participants, based on their degree of ability and their preferences, they can choose activities, filter through activities, and ensure that there are no clashes within their schedule. Thank you and have a nice day.